Hello. In this video, we're going to continue with our web server. Um, so as you remember from last video, we hit some problem in creating our router. So I'm gonna try to fix it first. And yeah, I've if you see, I've changed my shell configurations. I'm back to ZSH and using Starship. I really like this one, showing me the version. So log, we are going to, so let's take a look at our code. Oh, why it's problematic again? Oh, okay, let me just fix this small problem. It's in config fish, config that config that fish. There is this fcf-env that I need to add here, and we do set, it's not set, let's export this equals this, export. Let's run the terminal again, bring it in here. It should work now. Yes. Okay, so there was a problem. I changed my configuration. I changed my shell from fish to ZSH again, and there was this problem. So, as you remember, we write a simple router. How this router works, it gets a list of contime route handlers and tries to match the incoming request. It's a struct that has a method on it. It's not a method, it's basically a function. And what it does is, sorry, let me silence my phone as well, so we don't get any notification sound. Okay. So, and then it tries to match the request URI with the route. So let's see if this works. Zig build run. So there was this problem we had. So let's think about what problem we have. In this function in here, I'm saying that route handlers is a slice of route handlers, and it should become time now. Okay, so okay, so a slice in Zig is a pointer to an array with a known len. So it's a pointer to something. So basically in here, since it's a pointer, there could be other pointers to the same array. So it's possible that in the runtime this array change, right? Elements change. So this cannot be casted. So this cannot be a count time now. What if I don't think this error is helpful enough. What if these are constant route handlers? Of course this should be a constant, because these need to be count time now. What about now? Oh, so there was either this one, this does not have any effect. So basically we need our route handlers things. Route handler, I don't want instance. We need our route handler instances to be constant, because we want to make sure that they don't change. Okay, so we have this error in the router, which respond, of course, needs a try. And we run this. Okay. If we run this and pass this, oh my god. We get this error again. Okay. Okay. So we get the same error resumed on an async function which already returned. We already had this error in the end, at the end of the video part 3 video. So what we did that fixed this problem back then was that our code, our internal server code, should be completely comp time. So the size of the memory that our server code needs should be the compiler should be able to figure that out. Because of this, if we take a look at our server, there's this frame. Where is the frame? Okay, so this frame that's the yes, this frame is going to figure out the frame for this function, right? For this function, and this function has this part request.init, which is of course in the compile time you can know how much you need for this, and we already know that the problem is not here, so it goes in the handler. So our handler code should be the size of the frame that we need for the handler code should be comp time known. And the handler code is basically this, which is our make router. So make router does, okay, everything is everything I think we already used. If we already used this in other places, so probably the only thing which is not, but maybe not comp time, maybe we cannot figure it out in the compile time, is just this 4. So let's go to Zig spec. Can I go into here? I don't know why this Safari keeps doing this. Okay, so let's take a look at the 4. Okay, we have 4s and stuff. Okay, labeled 4, we can break from it. Of course, I know that. Okay, inline 4. For loops can be inline discusses the loop to be unrolled, which allows the code to do something that should only work at compile time. Okay, maybe we can try this inline 4 thing, because I don't know if this can help us or not. Okay, you know what is worrying me? We have this handler, but this handler is okay, no. So we just need to know the frame size. It's not going to be run at the compile time. So we should just know the frame size of this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use a while. Var I equals 0. I is a usize. I less than route handlers.len. And I do this. Save this, save this, save this. You know what? I'm just gonna use a while because I know that while loops are okay when we want to figure out the frame size. Okay, and for each const route handler equals route handlers this. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, if we run this, okay, why is that? It's actually weird because we know that this is a comp time. There's inline while as well. Unrolled, which allows codes to be something. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this inlining. Let's just do it with the one. Let's run this again. Okay, we're unable to evaluate constant expression. This while trying to do the frame. I don't know. Let's do this with the for loop again. I think that's simpler for the compiler because actually we are not writing the looping code. So let's say route handler route handlers. Don't need this. Run this again. And cool. So what we learned. Okay, so we inlined the for, and when we inlined it, for some reason, I don't know what's inlining do. I really don't know. I really don't understand what is inlining. Inlining loops. But the thing I understand from this code is when we inline this, the at frame function, built-in function, can figure out the size it needs for these functions to run, and it can do it in the compile time. Maybe for some reason for loops by default do some stuff based on runtime memory, but when we inline them, I don't know why. Basically my network connection does not work, okay, I don't know why my search is not working, but when inlined, they can figure out what to do. Okay, so main. Okay, I think it's pretty much what I wanted for this to work. Only small refactor. I'm gonna just call this router, and the main call this router, and okay, this should still work, right? So what I do, so we make this a constant. Of course, we needed this to be a constant because handler should be known at compile time. Renamed it, make these constants, slice of constants, so we are sure that nobody else can change. No, actually this is not important for us that nobody, because I mean, we cannot guarantee that other pointers to this array are slice of constants. Maybe they're a slice of object. But we need to make sure that for ourselves cannot change this. I think it's basically saving us from ourselves. We also inline the for loop, and we needed this try in here. Okay, so let's do a commit. Let's say fixed problems with new router. Use inline for so at frame can figure frame size for router handler. Make router routes handlers input a slice of constant route handler, and we do git push. Okay, which is really nice. Okay, we got the router, which is really nice. So I like this a lot, and we are really close to what we wanted. So next step would be to, so router is really dumb right now, so we need to make it a lot smarter. But how we should do it? So what I want in the request, where is the object type? Okay, in here. So we got headers, we got method URI version reader. We also want query params, which is standard string hashmap. We also want path params, which is also a string hashmap. So we need two hash maps for path params and a string query params. Okay, but you know what? Can't we use a oh, what I'm doing? Let me get back to my terminal. Okay, where am I? In desktop 3? Oh, okay, here it's desktop 3. I'm not really used to Mac. I wanted to search for inlining loops. With inlining, control drops through directly to the code for the function without a branch of. Okay. So inlining does not make any jumps, and that's what we need when we want to figure out the frame, I guess. Okay. So what I wanted to check, it was that structs. I want to see if any anonymous struct type, if we can use any anonymous struct type. So for example, if you have this, I mean, that is okay. Okay, you know what? I don't want these to be fields. So, okay. So what I want, I think it's gonna be a nice API and cool API. So I want some query params. Okay, no. I thought I could use the anonymous structs, but I don't know. I really don't know what should I say the type is. So I'm just gonna use the path params and the string hash maps, of course, and in the init, I'm gonna fill them. So basically in here, when the URI is created, it's also a variable. I'm gonna say, so the query params is really simple. I just need to do need to say so can I do stdmem index of? Yes. Okay. So index in the U8 array is URI. Yes. I want to find a question mark because always there is a question mark and then so it's something like this, and here is the param. So query param one, something like this, huh? So I'm gonna find the index, and this will give me constant start of query params +1. So this is it. This should be a var. Okay, so URI, so query params stir equals URI, the start of query params till the end. This is query params, and the URI itself would be the URI itself would be from the 0, the URI from 0 until start of query params -1, because we need from the start until the character before the question mark. Okay. Okay, so we got this in here. URI is okay. Now we need to parse this. So we do stdmem split query params stir okay, and the delimiter would be ampersand. That's how you separate query params. Gives us the split iterator. Query params iter. I'm gonna say inline 4. I'm gonna use it as an inline because I think we need this. Oh, okay, it's this 4. No, it should be a while actually. While query params iter, capture the value as query param. What we will do, what we will do is separating URI from query params part and parsing query params into a hash map. So each query param is separated by by an equal sign. So we do that as well. std split query param u8 and an equal sign split gives us a query param iter. My key would be query param iter.next. My value be the same. So finally, before all of these, I should create a hash map for query params. So query params is std string hash map, the comp time value, the generic base city parameter, and the init, which is the allocator. So I allocate the hash map, and then I use this while, and then I can put into the hash map query params dot put key and value. Put is also available, so we try this. So if everything works well, we get this query param. We get this query param in here. And in the request, we passed in the query params. Query params equals query params. What is unused? Var this query parameter. Okay. So since this does not have any value, I'm gonna comment it. Let's see if this works. Okay, we got an error. Expected optional type found nested. Okay. So what's wrong? Split. What was the line again? 75? Okay. It says that query params stir. What is the error again? Expected optional type found in a split iterator. I don't know what's wrong. Is this? Okay, but I'm unwrapping it. Query params stir. I don't know what it is saying. I really don't know. It says optional type found this. Query dot next. Okay. I'm unable to evaluate a constant expression. It's not a constant expression. Why you think this is a constant expression? This is not. Okay, maybe we shouldn't inline this. Okay, it's compiled. Try normal one. No, this does not work. Attempt to use null value in here. Because we couldn't find any... Oh, it's a bug. Because really, this is actually okay. Because if we don't find a... So what we should do, we should make this a variable as well. And we should not do this. And we should say that Can we make something undefined? I think we should make these optionals. This optional, yes. And inside, and this should be happening here. And we should just say if start of query params, we do all of these. Let's see, var query params. Yes. If start of query params, else no. I'm gonna say var query params equals a std string hash map constant q8. This is just a type. This is null. This shouldn't be a var anymore. And let's just query params. Expected type bool found view size. Where is this? Where again? It's in the if. Okay, didn't ifs have capture values in there? If optional. We should have the capture value, huh? Yes. We can ignore it, but we should have it. So this is actually cool. Okay, cannot convert optional to payload type. So in here, I rather do this. And also say startup query params equals startup query params plus 1. Field something does not support this, and it's normal because actually in here we should also do query params equals std string hash map constant u8 dot init allocate, and then I should do this. So this should not crash, of course. Cool. We didn't print this in anywhere, right? So we need to have this debug print the query params as well. So while query params are query params either equals self dot query params dot iterator query params either dot next have entry. We should do this, and let's do a print std debug print query params. And std debug print headers. Actually, let's print headers. I don't know. It's okay. Query params is a optional. Okay. Call this. We didn't check this, of course. So if query params iter nothing, not the iter, sorry, if self.query params. Now what? Okay, we hit a crack. Oh, come on. Again. Okay, we don't have any query params. We have headers. What if we pass a what if we pass a query param here? Say name equals. I think we should put this in a string as well because we have a question mark. And okay, and yes, we got this. So the query params are getting parsed. Cool. So let's do a commit dash m. Let's do git add, git commit, add query param support. Okay. Okay, so the next step is a tricky one. This is about path parameters. So what is a path parameter? So we know by other web servers there are something called a path parameter, something like this. We can have something like some same API like this. So we have items, and then we have a variable thing in the URI. So the user part would be to, so let's ignore this for, let's have this. But in here, in the index, for example, maybe I have something called a name, like this. And this is ambiguous for the web server. Okay, so something like this. So one way that I can think of is to pre-process the routes when they are going into the router. So in here, we can do some processing on them and make them and instead of having this, they put this. They put this and maybe this. I don't think if we need for the slash, if we need a backspace or not, backslash or not, but something like this. So basically, and then when we match, instead of checking the equality, we can check the regex match. We should make that a regex group, and then we can check the match. So let's see if Zeek has regex support. If we can do regex stuff in Zeek. Is there such thing? Zeek lang regex? It's in the experimental something. It's not updated. I remember that Andrew himself has some. So BTW, he's the creator of the Zing language. So let's see if he has any kind of implementation of regex in his GitHub. No. Okay. Zig lang regex GitHub. So how we should do? There are regex stuff in here. Okay, you know what? Let's search the standard library. Let's go Zig. Let's search for regex. Regex. It's in libc. So not these, of course, but there is some implementations in the libc for regex and for other stuff. Isn't there any? This is a part of LLVM project. No, I don't want this. Isn't there any kind of regex implementation in Zig that we can use? This is not good. This looks... Do you support capture groups? There is another way instead of regexing to... So there's this concept of radix trees. I don't know how hard it is to implement a radix tree. I think. Where is the... Okay. I don't know, maybe we can implement this later, but I'm not feeling like that. Is there a simpler way to do it? The simplest way I can think of is regex. Regex is a bit slow, but I mean it's the most powerful one out there. Okay, it's just radix something. Okay, so zig, lang, regex. What is zig versus regex? What is that? You're comparing it. I don't know even what to say. Okay. Let's go. I wanted to search the GitHub itself. So I would say regex, language. I think lang, zig. Can we do this? I don't know. Advanced search. Language, zig. Language, zig. Okay. Search. Okay. Okay. So let's open all of these. Compile time regex is. Okay, how? Okay, that's actually cool. Okay, this is hex ups. So, but says it's not ready for usage. This is one we saw. This is another one. Compile time regex captures with something support. I think this is what I want. Yes, this is a really cool one. So is there just a source code I can use? I mean, okay, this is actually fun because we need to, okay, is there a build.zig? It's not, there's no build. So I cannot use it. Okay, so let's just add this. And we will give the credits. So let's get back in here. Let's create source regex. That's it. Paste this and say all credits to, sorry, to this. Okay. Expected type expression found anytime. Okay, anytime is right. Use of undeclared C. Unused function parameter. Oh, I think this is not actually okay code. I think it's not going to compile. Okay, why is that? Zig.mod. Okay, where is build.zig? I mean, build.zig is one of the best things Zig have. Okay, let's just ignore this. Okay, close this, close this. Okay, not this one. Why they don't have build.zigs? I don't know. What's wrong with these? I don't know what to do about the regex. Compile partial match. Yes, it has this. It has captures. Returns a subslice for numbered. I think we should just use this one. This looks the most promising one. So, you know what? For Zeek dependencies, for now, I'm gonna use a submodule. Submodule. And I'm gonna say libs or deps dot deps deps Zeek regex. Okay. HTTPS. Okay, do we have any .deps now? Right, we got this. Okay. So what is git diff source? Okay. So in the main, we have this. How we should do the capture? Let's close this one. Regex capture group. Okay, regex capture groups. Capturing group something. Capturing. Is there a capturing group with name? Can we do capturing a group with a name? Named capturing, yes, this is what I want. Let's try this out in Zeek. It's not in regex 101. Let's try this. There's no implementation of that, but so let's say, for example, slash result. Oh, this is the regular expression. So in here, slash, I want to match this as a name. So I'm gonna say slash name. Oh no. Right, close it. So it's a named capture group that matches everything. There can be a slash. So basically this is the match group. So basically this is what I need to turn it into. And this, instead of being a constant thing, would be the name user gave us. And then from there I can get back captures. Okay, let's take a look at the captures. Dot deps Zeek regex. Okay, can you give me git status? Git that. Okay. So what I want, so let's test this a bit. So let's write a simple test, regex test. And in the test say that I'm gonna do constant. Actually from build, in the build, I'm gonna add a add package. What was that? Add package. Library path. I think that's it. No. Add library. How we can add libraries to Zig? I don't know. Add static library, shared library. Shared library is static. Maybe this is what I want. Name and the root source. Add static library. Let's try this. So this needs a name. I'm gonna say zig regex, and the root source is .deps / zig regex source name. Zig build. Expression value is ignored. Okay. It is saying that I know this should be in exe. I remember that. exe.add package. Add library path. Install. Link library. Set build mode. Create link library path. Okay, let's take a look at the documentations. It's in the Zig build system. Built in an executable. Add static library. Add a static library. Let's use that. What was this again? So there's this lib. Let's take a look at Ziegler as well. I don't know anything about the build system. Builder, correspondent, link, packages. exe.add package path. I want this. I wanted this. Okay. So add package path. I want this API. Okay. So this is what I wanted. Hopefully this will work. Do zig build run. It's gonna compile. File not found. Deps zig regex. Okay. Endless deps zig regex source. Okay. The main file is regex.zig probably. What about now? Okay. So we got this accessible from zig-regex in our source files. So basically it says that there you should know this as well. So this is probably how package managers in Zig are going to work as well. Okay. So let me just check something. It's about an hour. Okay. Okay, sorry. So now in here I can do constant regex equals import import zig regex. So let's take a look at the source code for that library. So there is this compile which we match and we create a regex. We can match. We can also do captures and get the captures. Okay. So what I want. So I want my input to be /dex, and I want my reject re to be regex.compile. And I just lost my autocomplete. Something like this. I want this. And then I want captures regex.captures regex.captures re and the input. Re and the input. Invalid steering literal in here. Unused local constant. I'm gonna say std.testing.expect captures equals null. I just want this to crash and see what's happening. I don't want this to be run zig test zig build test. What should I do? Zig test source routes. Okay. Unable to find zig regex. Oh, we did add this to the packages. The test step runs the tests. Is there help for this? Run unit tests. Test. Why you are saying that there is no tests? Maybe I should put this in the main. I mean, there's no difference where this test is. What if I do put this in the main? What about now? Okay, better, but still the same error. Unable to find zig regex. Why? I know that I have this in my build. Zig regex, zig dash regex in here. Okay. Now when run import inside, we'll work with this string table helper. It is exactly giving me the same thing. Says this should work. Zig dash regex. Oops. Zig regex source this. ls.deps. dot regex dot compile. But how should I do this? Unable to load users, source GitHub, regex.zig. Okay, no, okay, I got the problem. Let me just call this regex. And it will point to this. Okay. The main. It says unable to find regex again. What if this is the top? Unable to find regex. Okay, it's weird. You know why? Because I already I've already done this one time. This was working, so I wrote this simple CLI thing, and in here, yes, but maybe the problem is that we put this in a git sub module, so git status, git add, git status, all these new files. Why you add zig cache, git restore dash staged source zig cache, git status zig cache status. Okay, git modules. So this, I will put this in the libs, also in the libs, git sub module update, git sub module. You know what? I'm just gonna restart it. So git sub module, add this, and let's just put this in libs. Git sub module init. Okay, let's put this in libs. Maybe that was because the hidden folder thing. I don't know, and if it's the problem, it's a stupid problem, but we should test and see what will happen. So this will be libs. Zig build test. Okay, it's not finding it. I don't know why. Can I use this my own library to import? Oh, come on, why you do this? Why you do this? It's a really stupid thing to do. Okay, let's go into build.zig. You know what? Let's add another package. So let's say I want a CLI source main.zig, and do git sub module libs CLI, and let's do There's a ask CLI. Let's see. Our build. Let's go into our main. In here, just do add import. The CLI. Unable to find CLI. Okay, so there's a problem. We have a problem. So okay, so I think it's yeah, it's 1 hour. I think we should close it for today. But so what we achieved today was the router, the simple router. It does not handle. So there's no grouping in this router that we should add. So we should have this concept of a. So first of all, let me just inline this. So what we can do in here is this. Put this in here. This should look the same, work the same way. And also what I want is the concept of a group. So a group handler. And the group handler itself takes some routes and stuff and creates a handler for that group. So let's create actually a to-do. Well, let's work with readme. To-do. Or actually even better than that, we can use. So let me take a look at the git status. Let's go into, so let's git submodule, remove the libs CLI. Init --cached git submodule init -f. Okay. So I don't want submodules anymore. Let's just ignore those. Let's just remove libs. So basically we don't have any change. And the build.zig should not do this. What is the diff of main? It's just this and this. Okay. I want to make the project buildable, so I'm just gonna comment this one and comment this one. So it's buildable. Yes, cool. And diff with diff some code our comment. But you know what? What I want to for the to-dos is to not here. What I want to do is to add issues in the GitHub. So I'm gonna add one issue. So for router should support path pointers. So router should match incoming URI with user registered regex and extract captured groups. So this is one issue. Another issue would be to write tests. What other things we have? So testing. So we need testing. We need the path parameters. What else we have in the code? Let's take a look at the code. And yes. Configuration file support. Configuration file syntax. Need to implement default some default handlers like file server and some file server. Input a file from CLI, and parse it, pass it to server. Server should be able to. So how the server should handle this is through the config. No, so in the file in the configuration mode. So this config is not going to be exactly the same as the file configuration. The file can have the routes in it, and we will call those. Only the problem is that this is not anymore a compile time. Okay, actually this is a bit hard because I don't know if we can do this. If really we can do this, because the file is a completely dynamic runtime thing, but the async thing is a it should be everything should be compile time node. So I really don't know if we can actually support this. So I'm not going to submit this one. So yes, so the issues are write tests and supporting a path parameters. Maybe the config syntax is not going to possible at all, at least the way I wrote this. So the executable, I don't know. Is it even possible now? I really don't know anymore. So we got the async web server library, and yes, that is pretty much what I want. If we add the path parameters, I think we have enough features. I think this is good. Maybe the path parameter is going to be the last thing we implement. Maybe I add the predicate ones, I don't know. But I don't know if how much they are going to be useful. I think testing and also finding a way for the user to write simply write unit tests is more important. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you like this content, like this please and subscribe, and also give me ideas on what to do next after this web server. I'm thinking about a small game, but I don't know if there's anything else. You can tell me, oh, we need another feature. I just remembered that someone told me, I think on the YouTube comment, in the YouTube comment, I think, to add middlewares. Middlewares is good. We can implement this. It's a compile time. We can figure the size in the compile time, so async is okay. So let's call this add middleware. Middlewares should be added to the route handler and other similar things, and they should wrap user-defined handler with their code. It's actually a really simple thing to do. We can start with this, go with this, and finally do the test. Yes, that is it, and we will do these 3 things, and then I think we can make this name this project finished. I don't no, not name. I'm not very good with English, so yes, I think we can declare this project as finished, or at least no more features. Yes, that is pretty much it, and thanks for watching.